Hey, how's it going, everybody? Victor here. So tonight we'll be looking at a Python script that I've been working on, and basically what it does is that it lets you query a MySQL database, and then pretty much just gives you a parsed output of a one of the lists that you specify, and then you can do whatever you want with that list. So for me, I have kind of like a service provider set up, and I have a list of customers. So I'll get the information for those customers via a database query, and then I'll ping the different hosts, and then they'll tell me whether they're up and down, and then it'll let me actually connect to that box and get command outputs from them. So, but before I show you that and show you the current setup, um, I want to talk about network programmability. So if you're a regular networking guy, just like me, and you're not that much into network automation, orchestration, um, OpenSDN, that kind of stuff, then this will be a good video for you, I guess, because I'll be showing you I guess you can call it the old way of doing things, then rather than the new way that is using actual APIs like the NX API or the OpenSDN controller from Cisco. So and well, if you look at let me see if I have it here. I must do not there and here. So if you look at the new blueprint for all the CCIE's exams, Cisco is adding a new segment at the end, couple segments I think. But yes, this section right here is called Evolving Technologies, and basically they're gonna ask you basic stuff about SDN, APIs, scripting, OpenStack, um, what else? IoT, that's a big one right there. NFB. So we're definitely moving forward with this. So I think this is something that I mean, it is happening already, but it will be something that not too long from now you'll see this implemented everywhere, or at least in a lot of mm, productions. So all right, so let me go ahead and show you the current setup that we have tonight, and it is this one right here. And if you've seen some of my previous videos, you should be already familiar with this topology. So, so basically, we have a service provider kind of setup going on. And is if you look here, we don't even have this part of the network turned on. You can see the boxes are powered down. So right now we're only working with this customer, Fibonacci side A and side B, and this is a layer 2 point-to-point connection. So if we are on CSR1 and we do a showrun on interface gig 4, what we have here is the service instances matching whatever traffic comes in with different tags. So for the Fibonacci point-to-point circuit, we have a VLAN tag of 1010, and so we that's why we match with the encapsulation 1010, and then we put that in an X connect going to CSR5, to which were delivered to side A. So that's for the actual circuit between these two sites. Now for the management VLAN, we're using VLAN 90, and what we're doing is we're also matching with the encapsulation .1q, and then we're putting that on a bridge domain, which goes to my routed bridge domain interface, which is VDI 90. Okay, and we're advertising that to our OSPF so we can have reachability to the throughout the whole network. So this PNet interface right here, you see is a PNet 0. That's my connection to my actual physical LAN. So that's connecting to my 2821 physical router right here. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much what we have going on here. And now let me show you the actual um, SQL database that we're gonna query. So I have it hosted in my web server that is on Amazon Web Services, and I have a database called Fire Protocol, and here I have a list called customers. So I started filling this information here manually, and as you can see, we have the different customers, and we also have the core routers, the CSRs, and so here we have the management IP for the customers on their VLAN 90, and then for the core, we're just using the loopback interfaces, so 1111 for CSR1 and so on. So let me go and show you. I'm gonna run this script, and then you'll be able to see how it works. And then after that, we'll just go over the actual script. That, by the way, I'm gonna be putting the link for my GitHub repository down there, and then so you can just download the script and modify it to your need. So let's go ahead and run this. So we're gonna do is look up three. Alright, so it's gonna ask you for your SSH username. I'm gonna say Penny and then my password, and it's gonna ask me what do you want to search by. So I have name, address, city, or vendor. So because I wanna show all the results for now, I'm just gonna say vendor. I'm gonna say Cisco because they're all um, Cisco routers, and that's the way that I fill the data in. Right here, you see they're all Cisco. So that should give me all the all the results on that table. Oops. All right, and as you can see, um, tell me that CSR4 is down, which would be accurate because we don't even have it power. It's powered down right now. Um, and then also scaling development is down. Scaling development and Imagination Corp because those customers are not ready yet. So that's how this works, and then it's gonna ask you what box you want to connect to. So let's say we want to connect to CSR1, which is result number 5. So we enter 5, and then let's say IP addressing interface. So we'll just hit 3, and that will return you the output from that command. And if you want to enter a custom command, you can do it. So you can do show run interface maybe um, gig 1. That'll give you the output, and then you can just keep running commands, and or you can just hit 0 and then go back to another query. So that's pretty much what I've been working on, and I know it's not a fancy script, and I guess it's done in a old-fashioned way, but it is working for me right now. So I thought this would be a good stopping point to actually make a video and show this to you. So let's go over the script, and I do apologize in advance if I failed to explain some parts of the actual script, because like I said, I'm not used to working Python or any programming language. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so I'll just be pointing out the main parts right here, the most important ones. So first and foremost, we have the import. We're gonna import the libraries that we're gonna need. Um, so this is that part right here, and then you can just see the instructions. So basically, we're gonna need to have in the send directory. We're gonna need to have a dbconfig.txt file that should look like this one, in which you need to put your host name or IP of the database, the username, password, and the actual database name. So for me, this will be Fire Protocol, my username and password, and then fireprotocol.com or the IP or whatever. So, and then also you need to have a log.py file, which should look like this one. And this is only to be able to colorize some of the outputs that we have here, some whatever we print to the user. Okay. So next we have this function right here in which we're just gonna use it to force the user to get the input that we want, to enter the input that we want. So and it is easy to do it this way because as you saw, um, as you saw, we just give the user the different number of options that they have. So as long as we have that determined, we can just do this for the minimum and the maximum options or uh, options numbers. So for this one, we would say between 1 and 4, and then if it's any different than than 1 through 4, we would just repeat that again. So it's not gonna work until we enter something between 1 and 4. Okay. Um, so then we have our actual class for the database. And what we're doing here is just reading the lines of the actual dbconfig.txt. And if you're wondering why we have the -1 here, this part right here means the characters on line, the first line, because we're starting from the top. Read the characters 0 through -1 of that first line. And the reason that we're doing -1 is because right at the end of each lines, we're always gonna have the /n for carriage return or in the new line. So that's why we don't want to grab that one, because that'll mess up our actual variables to then pass those to the actual connection. All right, so then we just connect to the database and do a fetch all to get all the queries. Okay, so we're gonna return this because this is the one that we're gonna use to actual query the database. Okay, so then this is the actual search function that we face after we enter our password. So this one right here. And the reason that we're doing this is because we're building these two strings. Q and QIP, those are the strings that we're trying to build from by asking the user what they want to search by and what they want to search. So that's the main goal here, just build these two strings because these two strings are the ones that we need to pass to the database so you can actually go ahead and do the query. And I'm going to show you that right now. So right here, every time you do a search, and let's say that we're gonna search by city, so you're gonna reject Orlando. You see the string right here, from select all from customers where city rejects Orlando. That's the string that we want to build here. Excuse me. And so we can send that to we can pass that through the query function here, from the database class. All right, so we're gonna store that in a variable called search, and then what we're gonna do here, and this is very cool. We're just gonna, because the from this query you're gonna get a list. That's a data type in Python. Is a list, and you can just with list you can iterate through it. So that's what we're doing right here. We're just iterating through that list and then print it the elements on each of the columns as we go, and then we also use that to kind of grab or extract from this element position where it says management IP, where we want to extract that value and just as a string, of course, and then use this function right here to just print that. And if that returns something that equals to 0, that means the actual IP is responding. So that's how we achieve this part right here. You know, that's why it takes a little bit before it shows you whether they're up or down. Um, well, between this and this, the reason that we have this function right here is because we gotta find a way for to ask the user the actual box that they want to connect to, and we're using these numbers right here to do that. You know, because as long as we have the number or the time that we iterated on that list, we can just grab that position or element and then just ping it. So that's pretty much what we're doing because later we want to connect to that box, so we're going to need the IP again. So that's why we have this part right here. And then let's see. All right, so then just ask the user what they want to do with that IP after they connect to it. So this is pretty straightforward right here. Just transform whatever the user inputs, and look at this. We're always using that check input function, and we're passing 3 arguments. So 0 because we have um, the user can input 0 to go back, or just 1 through 7, the options, and then we pass the message, which is this string right here. And this is very good because we can just you could just do it like 8, and then maybe just enter another command, you know. So this is a new command, and then you can just do here and do, oops, not there. You can just do L if comment obj is equal to a, then I don't know, maybe you want to do a show environment all, you know. Um, so you can add new commands just like that. It's very easy. Mm. All right, so after that, now that we have the actual IP that we're gonna connect to, we have the username and password. What we need to do now is just actually build the SSH connection function, and we do that using Paramiko, which is a Python library. And what we do here is just build that SSH session between the host and the box that we're connecting to. So for that, we pass these four arguments: the host name, which is the IP, the username, the password, and the desirable communication, which is what we return from this function right here. So that's pretty straightforward. Then we grab that output and print it to the screen, and that's it. So up to this point, we have the function definitions or declarations. Um, and then here's where we're actually executing the script. So we just print the splash screen and then ask for the login and password, and then we're gonna do a while true loop. So first thing, we're gonna call this function a search function, and if you remember, we don't pass any arguments to this one because all we do here is just get the desired query from the user. So we store that in a variable called first, and then we call the function called the IP, and we pass first as an argument, and then store that result in a variable called second. If second equals 0, that means the user just wanted to go back at this point. Um, right at this point. Oops, sorry. Name 2021. Ooh, or maybe that's not a right at this point. So if we want to go back, we would enter 0, and then what happens here is that we pass, and we don't keep going down here. We just go straight to the back. So just go back, start again. Else, we're gonna call the desirable function, desirable command function. We're gonna store that in a variable called third. And again, if this function returns something that equals to 0, we're just gonna pass again and start from the beginning. But else, we're just gonna do a while loop again, and because maybe the user just wants to remain connected to that box, and just keep uh, getting outputs from that box. So as far as they don't enter the 0, we're just gonna keep repeating this part right here, you know? So like this. So we can select one and then just keep running commands for as long as we want until we hit 0 and go back to the actual uh, initial step. So that's pretty much what the script is doing right now. I know it's an old-fashioned way of doing things, especially because it's not a very much object-oriented structure, I guess. But like I said, I have zero to none experience in Python, so or any programming language whatsoever. So I thought it would be cool to show you guys this, and like I said, I'll be posting this in my GitHub repository that I just learned how to use. Excuse me. So that's gonna be it for tonight. Uh, and I'd like to let you know that maybe in the next few videos we might be working with something like OpenSDN controller from Cisco, because I'm trying to make it work right now. So this is what I have so far. I just install it and set it up. So at this point, we need to add new devices. So I'm gonna try and set them up with like XRVs, the iOS XRVs. So see if that works. But I'm not, I mean, I've never worked with netconf. So unless we have like a Nexus switch that we can actually use an NX API, we're gonna have to use something like netconf for like the XRVs. So, but we'll see how that works. I guess for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.